Thank you, Holly. Good morning, everyone. It's really a pleasure and an honor to speak with this distinguished group of professionals that are dedicated to water resource management. And today I want to talk a little bit about some smart urban water management strategies and how cities like Phoenix, Arizona, are exemplifying our conference theme of a smart oasis and doing more with less. Before I begin, though, I just want to take a moment to recognize our colleagues in Los Angeles, including the firefighters and the water resource management professionals who are working heroically to save lives and protect property, and just say that we're grateful for their dedication, their commitment to public service. And as the LA fires illustrate so painfully, we live in a world where climate and water challenges are not a distinct or not a distant possibility, but a reality. And in the face of such challenges, we must embrace innovation, adaptability, and collaboration. So this morning, drawing from research from my colleagues at Arizona State University and our extensive network of partners, especially the city of Phoenix, I want to highlight some examples of what we call the Arizona Blueprint, which is showing how we can transition our water systems to greater resilience, greater security, and greater sustainability. And I want to thank Holly, Mayor Gallego, the Director of Water Services Department, Troy Hayes, Nasario Prieto, and others that I work with at the City of Phoenix for all of the support and collaboration and partnership, and really recognize the city for their forward-thinking and innovative approach to smart water management. So the water challenges, several interconnected environmental and social stressors pose risks to water security, sustainability, and resilience globally and in arid regions specifically. For instance, high agricultural demand, rapid population growth and urbanization, land use changes, and the legacy effects of historical policies, along with aging infrastructure, are major issues. On top of these social stressors, environmental factors such as climate change are increasing our risks and increasing more frequent and extreme events such as droughts and floods. I had the pleasure to lead the Southwest region. I forgot to start my timer, so I'm going to do that now. I had the pleasure to lead the Southwest region for the United States National Climate Assessment, the 5th National Climate Assessment that was released in December of 2023. Actually, one of the great honors of my professional career was to join the president at the White House for the launch of the National Climate Assessment, which, if you don't know about the NCA, you should, and you should be using it, hopefully, and it hopefully is relevant to you in the work that you do. According to the 5th National Climate Assessment, climate change has reduced surface water and groundwater availability for both people and nature in the Southwest. There are inequities, importantly, in how these impacts are experienced. Higher temperatures, in particular, have intensified drought and will lead to a more arid future. Now, without adaptation, these changes will exacerbate our existing water supply-demand imbalances, and at the same time, however, the region is experiencing more intense precipitation events, including atmospheric rivers, for our colleagues in California, quite familiar, and the Pacific Northwest, which can contribute to increased flooding. But flexible and adaptive water management strategies have the potential to mitigate the impacts of these changes on people, the environment, and our economy. So Lake Mead, the largest reservoir in the United States, supplies water to tens of millions of people across the West, irrigates millions of acres of agricultural lands, supports biodiversity, cultural heritage, ecosystems, and ecosystem services, and provides recreational opportunities. From 2000 to 2022, the water levels in Lake Mead declined from 98% to 27% of capacity, as shown in these NASA satellite images. Now, during the recent Colorado River Water Users Association conference in Las Vegas, the underlying tension between the upper and lower basin states was evident. The states are currently deadlocked over how to share water on an over-allocated river, and that is aridifying due to climate change. Each group has presented proposals for the looming post-2026 operations. But this conference highlighted the challenges in reaching consensus and the potential consequences of inaction. Now, meanwhile, industrial, domestic, and agricultural water demands continue to strain our available surface water supplies, exacerbating scarcity. The rapid expansion of cities, particularly in arid regions, increase pressure on surface and groundwater supplies, sometimes leading to competition and disparities in access between urban and rural populations. Furthermore, the compounding effects of land use changes, including deforestation and land conversion for agriculture, can disrupt hydrological cycles, exacerbating runoff challenges and increasing the risk of floods and droughts in these affected regions. Meanwhile, the social, cultural, and economic implications of the water crisis are profound, disproportionately affecting overburdened and underserved communities, including rural communities and indigenous peoples. For example, a major barrier to water access in the Southwest is the cost of water infrastructure, which averages about $600 per 1,000 cubic meters of water for non-indigenous families with piped delivery, compared to $43,000 per 1,000 cubic meters of water for Navajo families relying on hauled water. So clearly, we have arrived at an innovation moment. We need advanced technologies, new monitoring, modeling, and decision support tools, updated laws and policies, new regulations, and more inclusive and participatory engagement strategies to drive transformative adaptation to thrive in the face of these complex challenges, especially under conditions of climatic uncertainty. And what I'd like to do next is to talk about a few of these innovation pathways, highlighting some things that we see happening here in Arizona, but that are also happening in other parts of the United States. And one of the messages I want to drive home is that these require an integrated approach. We need innovation across technology, policy, and law, participatory engagement, new innovations in every mode of operation by which we provide our communities with water services. And in almost every case, those innovations require an integrated approach, where it's not just about a new technology, but it's the deployment of a new technology that may require also a new set of regulations to enable that technology. It will require a new way of engaging with public to drive adoption of those technologies. So it's this integration that's really the most important part from my perspective about how we drive innovation forward. So one promising avenue that Holly mentioned and that is being championed by the City of Phoenix, also City of Tucson is now moving towards advanced water purification. This is being developed and deployed in Arizona thanks in large part to the efforts of the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, the City of Phoenix, and other regional partners. This solution illustrates the need for this integrated approach to water resources management, which has required updated laws and regulations, new technology innovation, creative financing, new infrastructure management, regional coordination, and new approaches to public engagement and public education. And just another shout out to Nasario and group for the work that is going on with the City of Phoenix that exemplifies all of those things. DEQ had to write new regulations to allow, and Karthik is at my table formerly of DEQ, one of our great partners with the university, to rewrite the regulations in the state to enable advanced water purification. The city needed to develop plans, develop regional coordination, develop the financing mechanisms. The political support coming from mayor and council and city manager's office is absolutely critical in addressing this. So while these large centralized infrastructure solutions are critical, our teams are also working with communities to develop self-contained, transportable, and low-maintenance water mechanisms, which our research teams call modular, adaptive, and decentralized, or MAD water solutions. These are deeply embedded in community-level social infrastructure. to improve water sustainability. And these solutions are often more cost-effective and can ensure that communities that don't have large-scale piped water infrastructure are still able to meet their water needs. This is an excellent example of our teams working at the interface of engineering and actually anthropology. One of my colleagues at Arizona State University, Amber Woodich, who leads this work, is an anthropologist who has studied water scarcity and cooperation to deal with water scarcity all around the world, and is bringing those lessons to bear in working with our engineers, in working in communities like Florence, as well as tribal and rural communities, to develop and deploy modular, adaptive, decentralized point-of-use water solutions where the cost or complexity of large-scale centralized infrastructure is unlikely. And on the theme of this meeting in particular, the transformative potential of digital technologies and data-driven solutions offers new avenues for enhancing water management efficiency, monitoring water quality, and predicting hydrological trends with unprecedented accuracy. Artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms can analyze large volumes of data and identify trends, patterns, and anomalies in water quality and quantity. And Holly mentioned some of the work that's going on in the wastewater division at the City of Phoenix. For example, at Arizona State University, the Decision Theater is a tool that we use to organize researchers, policymakers, and the business community to better understand and explore solutions to these complex issues. Using data analytics and high-performance computing to drive software-integrated models, Decision Theater works with transdisciplinary partners to streamline big data and transform it into more novel, interactive data and visualizations. And for many years, we worked with the City of Phoenix and other regional partners to develop novel decision support systems that take advantage of the high-performance computing capabilities of the university, but partner with the critical strategic insights of the water management professionals, and oftentimes with the data from the utilities to be able to populate, validate, verify the types of models that we develop at the university. Meanwhile, we need new and more innovative approaches to public engagement and community participation in decision-making. One example, recently we commissioned artist Nicole Papel to create Ripple Effect, which is a mural at the Douglas Public Library in southern Arizona. The mural was part of our ongoing efforts to support community capacity to understand and protect groundwater resources. So Nicole and team worked with the city of Douglas and brought participants from the city together to not only design the mural, but then to come and paint the mural at the Douglas Public Library. And this is not an isolated event, but this mural was an outgrowth of a series of groundwater resilience workshops that we are leading across the state of Arizona in partnership with a strategic committee, including Department of Water Resources, Department of Environmental Quality, our partners with the University of Arizona, the Lincoln Institute, Babbitt Center for Land and Water Policy, EDF, and others. And through our efforts to support those communities, we are also seeing the one outgrowth of these efforts is the development of regional watershed councils like the Sulphur Springs Water Alliance in southern Arizona, which are leading to community-led efforts to protect groundwater. And while we support our Department of Water Resources and our Office of the Governor in efforts to use the available legislation such as the Arizona Groundwater Management Act to increase protection, we also know that those efforts are going to be more successful if the communities are leading those efforts to protect their groundwater resources and, critically, their culture and way of life. Another promising approach to water conservation lies in understanding community-specific attitudes that influence water usage. In research conducted by my team, we used unsupervised machine learning to develop a typology of residential water users in Phoenix, Denver, and Las Vegas. The analysis that we conducted revealed 7 distinct archetypes of water conservation attitudes, ranging from highly engaged water-savvy conservationists to less aware, unconcerned users. These insights allowed us to tailor demand management strategies. And for instance, targeted educational campaigns can address gaps in conservation awareness among the less engaged groups, while incentive programs can reward the efforts of already engaged households. Another avenue we explored was using agent-based modeling to simulate the socio-hydrological responses to various demand management scenarios. By incorporating these behavioral archetypes, the models allows us to test in a modeling environment interventions such as drought-tolerant landscaping incentives and conservation education. These agent-based modeling examples then can be ported over and tested in a real-world environment. Empowering local communities through participatory approaches to water governance helps us to foster ownership and accountability and engender resilience in the face of water-related challenges. Participatory approaches such as community-based water management committees and stakeholder consultations enable local communities to participate in decision-making processes, voice their concerns, and contribute local knowledge and expertise. Pictured here is a project designed to empower agricultural communities in southern Arizona to adapt to water scarcity and climate change while protecting their local economies and customs. This is a group of young people in particular who went through what we call the Water Leadership Institute. These are participants in Nogales, Arizona, and here they're celebrating their graduation, which is a partnership between ASU through our Arizona Water for All program and the Rural Community Assistance Corporation, as well as EDF. And as researchers and engineers pursue advanced water solutions, it's vital to adapt management and mitigation strategies to the diverse needs and priorities of communities across the state. By convening and listening to community leaders with their regional input and expertise, and encouraging especially young people to pursue a seat at the decision-making table, we stand to build an Arizona with a secure water future for all of Arizona, and importantly for all Arizonans. So to close, let me just say that implementing integrated solutions across this portfolio of approaches requires collaboration. This requires us to break down disciplinary silos and foster synergies across diverse stakeholders, so we can integrate insights from academia, from industry, from government, and civil society, which facilitates the co-creation of solutions to these water challenges. By leveraging the complementary strengths of these diverse stakeholders, collaborative efforts hold promise in fostering holistic approaches. So for example, academic research institutions can provide scientific expertise and technical knowledge to inform evidence-based decision-making and policy. Industry partners contribute technological innovations, financial capital resources, and practical insights to develop and implement scalable solutions to our water challenges. Government agencies provide regulatory management and oversight, funding support, and policy incentives to promote sustainable water use and protect our water resources. Civil society organizations are critical to mobilize public awareness, create advocacy campaigns, and community engagement initiatives to raise awareness about water issues and promote collective action for water conservation. And with this broad array of collaborative efforts, we can harness the collective wisdom and resources needed to address these complex challenges posed by water scarcity and water quality degradation, and build a more resilient and sustainable water future for all. Thank you.